Hey there, it's Enderverse. Today we're rolling out last month's wrap-up. I have to say I'm impressed. These mods were so good, I forgot the bacon salad this summer. As usual, subscribe and turn on the bell to enjoy a summer vacation full of mods. Now let's dive into the video. Starting the list with Vanimals, a new mod that adds a bison and a Napoleon fish. The bison is the most useful mob here, as you can ride it and ram mobs with it, while the Napoleon fish is useless as of now. However, both animals will breathe life into the wild, and their quality is high-end. This sure looks like a promising animal mod, and the authors behind it are the same people currently working on a bigger project called Ancient Nature, so it seems that they know what they're doing. Lummobs is also a mod adding new mobs. However, the theme here was entirely fantastic and mythical. Each mob here featured a unique attacking pattern, either being hard to catch or hard to dodge. The only mob here that honestly didn't feature any unique behaviors was the cocos, so I would recommend for the author to rework it for higher excitement. The mod even included a final boss, summoned similarly to the Wither boss, only with regular skeleton skulls instead, making this boss a little harder to summon. Though it's even harder to fight, as it strikes you with lightning and calls forth a bunch of angels to assist the battle. Adding extra enemies, especially odd and unconventional ones, is the best way to spice up any adventure mod pack. This next mod is inspired by the game Zelda, added 4 new mobs that have been skillfully implemented with fascinating models and smooth animations. As much as I love the mobs, the weapons and armors were honestly my favorite part of the mod. Apart from their stunning designs, some of them featured unique abilities and debuffs. I was never a Nintendo gamer myself, so I can't say either the author was accurate or not. However, I feel that they did an awesome job remaking the Zelda game nonetheless. This is an add-on for the Twilight Forest mod, adding villages on the surface and dungeons on the ground. At first glance, I thought this was solely a world generation mod. However, new content has indeed been added, with a new trader mob that sells and buys stuff from you, along with new decorational blocks to use. A couple of months ago, I came across a similar mod called Twilight Treehouse. Different from this mod, it only featured new structures with no new content, though combining the two mods can enliven this dimension even more, giving you extra things to do after you had completed the Twilight Forest journey. What a time to be alive. Who knew that after 8 years of stagnation, we would finally get a revival of the good old Mo Creatures mod, one of Minecraft's oldest and greatest mods of all time. The author who revived the project made sure that all 40 new mobs are here, even added extra ones from the Mo Creatures extended add-on. I remember being a kid back in 2012 downloading all sorts of viruses to get this mod working on my cracked Minecraft, and I reckon many of you could relate to such situation. Although this mod is as old as Minecraft, the quality here remained acceptable, especially the texturing and the audio, and I'm sure a lot of people will be more than happy to pick it up after all these years. Served by the same person behind the Mutant More mod, Wither Reincarnated is a mod overhauling the Wither boss in Minecraft, making it way harder to fight and increasing its quality by a lot. The first thing you'll notice is this summoning animation, how the boss accumulates energy, rise up, and even accelerates time into the night. The attacks included the normal flying skulls, but also this neat beam attack, accurate to how this boss's core can create the beacon. The flying animations of the boss are extremely well made, as it will glide smoothly to the sides instead of floating with a rigid posture. If someone was to look at the fight from far, they would be able to glance at the fire and the smoke covering the arena. This mod is not free as it is not completed yet, but when the author finishes it, it will be available for Forge 1.20.1. Next up we have Unusual Furniture, a mod that included a variety of decoration blocks to use. There are functional blocks that are both aesthetically pleasing and can store items for you, blocks that can be assembled with each other to form a unique shape, blocks for gardening, cute plushies, and more. The mod also added unique mechanics like the ability to tuck chairs underneath tables, and the possibility to swap between different variants like in the case for industrial lamps. This is an awesome mod, and honestly the comfiest and most vanilla friendly option I could name right now. I've never been a fan of those themed mods with complex models. They felt washed up and generic. However, Craftformers Prime is one mod that was an exception, mainly because of how good it was. The mod was themed around the popular movie series Transformers Prime, including many main characters to the game. The transformation was seamless, so was the swapping of melee and ranged weapons. The outlook of the Transformers was also quite accurate to the franchise, with light emissions added as you use shaders. I like this mod so much. However, I would recommend that the author pushes the ant a little higher, adding extra particles to the transformed cars and jets. Smoke and engine flame effects will do for now. Up next we have Biome Backlog, a mod adding 3 new mobs inspired mainly by the outvoted mobs from the Minecraft mob vault. Those are made so that you can interact and chain these mobs. The terrain around said creatures was also enhanced, with new types of trees like palm trees, atmospheric features like tumbleweeds, and building blocks made out of salt. This is an incredible mod, though I feel that the ostrich and the vultures received awesome animations and models, while the mercage wasn't as privileged in this regard. So I hope that the author takes this into consideration. Cave Stuff is a content mod mostly concentrated on the caves. The number of dangerous monsters that will try to hunt you is abundant, and there is even a final boss that you can fight deep in the ground. The author also developed new armors alongside new weapons. Some of them works best in close combat, others can shoot from afar. This way you are not helpless against the new monsters. The bulk of the materials and the mobs can be found on underground dungeons. Some of these structures can offer useful things without necessarily posing any danger, while others are crawling with mobs that will give you a hard time. The majority of the content I've just shown you right now was included on the recent update, seemingly overhauling this mod and pumping it full of new content. So it's a must-have. This next mod added this suitcase that will allow you to travel to a pocket dimension by sneaking on top of it. This place features no hostile mobs, nor does time progresses through the day and night. To first open the suitcase, you must craft some of these golden keys and rename it however you'd like. Then right-click the suitcase and an unlocking sound will play. You can also dye the suitcase, unless you prefer a different color theme. I like the idea of having a dimension that is entirely yours to customize. Here you can set up all sorts of kingdoms or weird experiments if you want. No one can access this place too, so no worry over players vandalizing your dimension. Blast Travel Reborn adds cannons to the game. These cannons can fire anything, including yourself. The cannons are craftable and customizable too. You can attach things like chain to keep them steady, or gold to give them an aesthetic touch. The original mod was outdated. This mod served as its successor, porting it over to 1.21.1. This way more people could enjoy these cannons. Still Life is a world generation mod specializing in smoothing the terrains in Minecraft, along with giving them an immensely higher amount of details and foliage. The rivers can be seen expanding infinitely. Mountains became bulkier and taller, and beaches are much bigger, covering large spaces. The mod is also compatible with other world generation mods that add new structures. Combining said mods with Still Life, you'll notice that their floors blend seamlessly with the rest of the terrain, something that is rare to see in a world generation mod with such impact. Still Life isn't my idea of VanillaPLUS, but I love how it made the terrains unrecognizable without adding new blocks whatsoever. Keeping everything you saw server side, no one will need to download the mod in order to get to the server. Stoneveil allows you to sculpt stone into 3 new statues called the Gargoyle statues. These sculptures aren't mere decorations. One of them can turn into a living creature if struck by lightning. The Gargoyle mob doesn't do anything special as of now, but it is viciously defensive and would easily unalive you if you mess with it, so be careful. From the look of it, the author may be planning to bring the other 2 statues into life, though this is only an assumption of mine, so please don't get your hopes high. This next mod adds a cinematic zoom effect that includes the cinematic black stripes from movies. The animation of these stripes sliding down is very smooth and makes the simple act of zooming on a map or a structure feels extremely satisfying and picturesque. If you have tried the shader Astralex, then you'd be aware of this exact animation, triggering when you sneak. Though I prefer the effect here, as it requires no player movement, just push the button and it will work with any shader you could name. Renovated Vanilla Biomes is also a server-side world generation mod. However, this one doesn't add any new biomes, only enhances the existing ones. The author focused on giving the vanilla biomes a touch of wilderness through increasing the diversity of the blocks. The biomes now feature a huge number of foliage and rocky blocks that are combined to create a beautiful view. Every single biome has been renovated with this mod, and so you'll face no inconsistencies throughout your gameplay. The only issue I have with it is the obvious lack of versions. Currently, it only works on Forge 1.2 and 1.1, so I hope this changes very soon. Recently, the Ender's Cataclysm mod received a huge update, adding this new oceanic dungeon floating over the ocean, making the whole structure feel prestigious and sovereign. Some of the monsters here are very strong, carrying tridents and shields and fighting skillfully, while others are mostly wild with no fighting skills, just pure brute force. Reaching the actual boss won't be easy, as it is protected by this lobster. The arena which you'll fight him on is very small, and so you may very well be pushed off the cliff and into the beach. The lobster may even grab you if you get too close and hurl you off aggressively. I don't know if this is a glitch, but it did happen anyways. The lobster can control the water, and often he will swing his massive axe. The small arena only makes this difficult fight all the more difficult, and the fact that the sea fruit can regenerate is the cherry on top. After having dealt with the lobster, the final and the real challenge begins. Scylla, the new boss within the mod. Scylla controls both the water and the lightning. Scylla is also skillful in terms of close combat, swinging her anchor and even blocking your own attacks with it. Often she will infuse the anchor with electricity, launch it at you from above and reeling herself in, causing an electrical shockwave in the process. She may even reel you in with her anchor and crash you up. Closing death, Scylla will start summoning lightning serpents. She will also become seemingly faster and will hit harder, so be careful not to get unalived, as she can also heal herself upon defeating you. The quality of this boss is comparable, if not better than the past one, and for this I'm more than happy to wait 9 months for new bosses to be added if the outcome is this good. Thermal Shock is an M-Creator mod adding a new dimension called the Lucandia. The climate here is mostly cold, with plenty of new blocks that decorate the terrain and makes it feel very novel and worth exploring. You may also come across different camps here and there, containing useful loot and new blocks to bring home. Other types of structures also provide loot, but one that doesn't come so easily. You will have to neutralize waves of mobs before you receive a key that will allow you to unlock one of these safes. The most exciting part about the mod, however, is the final boss, along with the equipment you can craft. The boss fight is one of the most enjoyable I've ever tried, with laser sound effects, particles surrounding the arena, and the boss itself teleporting from one spot to another, forcing you to watch over your shoulder. This is one of the best RPG mods you can explore right now, a hidden gem that not many people are aware of, so please, take the time to try it out. Approaching the end, we have a mod that gives a smooth animation to the Blaze's fireballs. Instead of being launched out of nowhere, these fireballs will now be summoned one by one and launched at you. This can also be useful as it indicates when the blaze will attack. In vanilla, you just have to rely on your instinct. Finally, we have Plane Advancements. This is a client-sided mod that enhances the outlook of the advancements, adding this spiderweb design where the white lines connect the achievements together leading up to the final challenge. You can change the layout and the zoom screen, even make it so that all advancements are visible in one page, and by adding a mod like Advancements Full Screen, you can make things even better. This is an awesome mod, and will make the quest system in vanilla Minecraft more comprehensible without changing the system itself. Another legendary mod has been revived just last month, in addition to plenty of new promising projects also showing up, so make sure to check May's collection. Like and subscribe if you find my content useful, and I'll see ya in the next one, my friend.